Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Friday, October 15th, 2021. Indeed, it's a bit of a hump day in the month, cresting over the halfway point, and what a month it's been. Bitcoin breaking through 60K for the first time today in months. Very, very bullish move to the upside. Bitcoin's up, I think, 5% on the day. Let's give it a quick look.
Oh, no. It's 7%. We're above 61,000 now.
Brilliant. Yes, it's pumped since I first checked on the market about an hour ago.
Brilliant.
It is brilliant. It is a run at potentially new all-time highs, guys, along with news that an ETF has been approved in the United States. A Bitcoin ETF. Is it finally here? Say it ain't so.
Will be approved.
Will be approved? Okay. Yes, will be approved. That's
yes,
right.
Not
has been. Yes, that's an important distinction to make. Indeed. Thank you for that, clarifying that. That's, of course, the voice of the very well-informed, ever so seasoned in these markets, head analyst here at CC, Alexander Pearson. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm well. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's get into it, guys. We do have about 90 minutes in store for you today of market analysis, TA. We're going to get into news.
Let's not promise them 90 minutes now. Let's. It's more than an hour. Let's say.
Let's call it an hour. Yes. The show started quite late today.
A little more than that.
Yes. Show started late today, guys. I apologize. Had something come up, but problem solved. Let's get back into today's analysis. So again, we're going to get into a few things, including news today, analysis. I'm going to shout out the audience. Going to open up that D-Live chest. Going to get into the main technical analysis. Alex will take you through his daily scan of the markets. We'll check in on traditionals, and finally, we will get to your requests. So yeah, get your requests in. We'll jump into those. And there's also one that came in really late yesterday. I'll try to remember which one that was. Came in at the end of the day. We weren't able to get to it. I'll try to get to it at the beginning of the request line today. So thank you to that. I think it was a new user from the live chat who came through. Hope you're back today. We will look at that. All right. Enough intro. Let's go ahead and get into some news topics today. A lot of it has to do with the ETF and Bitcoin cresting over the 60K resistance. So let's cover a few. Here's this first one from Bain and Crypto titled Bitcoin touches 60K amid hype of an ETF approval. Bitcoin touched, let's go here. Bitcoin has broached this threshold for the first time in 6 months after achieving an all-time high of nearly 65,000 in April. The crypto market took a nosedive, and Bitcoin is only starting to see those heights again. The recent bump to this latest threshold can be attributed to the crypto investors anticipating approval of the first Bitcoin ETF in the United States. According to anonymous sources from Bloomberg, the SEC is set to approve proposals for ETFs based on Bitcoin futures submitted by ProShares as well as Invesco Limited. These applications will be filed under mutual fund rules, which SEC Chairman Gary Gensler said provide, quote, significant investor protections, unlike other SEC has already rejected. The sources also reveal that the regulator would be unlikely to stop the introduction of these products. This was corroborated by a tweet from the SEC's Investor Education Office saying, quote, before investing in a fund that holds Bitcoin futures contracts, make sure you carefully weigh the potential risks and benefits, end quote. This implicit confirmation is likely what stoked the rally earlier today. Well, I imagine it poured some fuel on the fire, but we've certainly had some bullishness during, well, quite a few days now. You guys have been. Let's take a look at my Bitcoin chart here. It looks like this close here above the daily. This is a strong close back on the 1st of October. This might have been a good spot to have longed it. But yeah, there you go, guys. Very, very exciting news.
Extended. There was a continuation long. It's better to look at it.
Yes, you're probably right. There was probably more other appropriate signals to take. This is, of course, my hindsight 2020 strategy.
Exactly. You can't self-flagellate just because. It didn't matter.
Yes, of course it did. Of course it did it. I'm just saying. Looking at this news and everything, I really wonder. Was the news in about 2 weeks ago? Around early October, was the news in? Were insiders already starting to accumulate ahead of the ETF? Somebody must have known. I figure maybe somebody might have acted on insider news.
We all fucking knew. We said it right here. Bitcoin is going to do better than alts going forward. Said it 3 or 4 weeks ago before the news ever came out.
Indeed, indeed. Let's see here. Anything else to add on this piece here? So indeed, they are unlikely to stop it, and we had some kind of complicit confirmation there, or implicit confirmation, I should say. Many other fund managers have also applied to launch ETFs in the U.S. so far to no avail. Some prominent names include the VanEck Bitcoin Trust, Goldman Sachs, Fidelity, Valkyrie, and the Galaxy Digital Funds. Isn't Valkyrie among the ones that are being named right now? In fact, let's hop into another news story. We have enough for this one for now. Let's see here. NASDAQ listing hints that the SEC may soon approve ETF application from Valkyrie as well. All right, let's have a look here. The U.S. SEC may soon approve an application for crypto asset manager Valkyrie for a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, with the shares to be listed on the NASDAQ. According to October 15th, a notice from the SEC, the agency has accepted a registration request for shares of Valkyrie's Bitcoin Strategy ETF for listing on the NASDAQ. In a letter from NASDAQ's Vice President of Listing Qualifications, filed the same day, the exchange said Valkyrie's Bitcoin ETF shares have been certified. Interesting. In an August 11 prospectus with the SEC, Valkyrie said its Bitcoin Strategy ETF would offer indirect exposure to the crypto asset with cash-settled futures contracts. Contracts would be purchased using a Cayman Islands-based subsidiary wholly owned by the fund with exchanges registered at U.S. CFTC. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so they filed earlier this week, and apparently Valkyrie is, in fact, joining the list. We might get a slew of ETFs in the future. Very interesting. Let's hop into another piece here. I'm sure we will learn more in the coming days. Let's see here. Bitcoin. This one from Cointelegraph. Bitcoin gets green light for price discovery of almost no supply on the exchanges above 59K. This is something I often wonder about. Is the declining supply on the order books also a very bullish indicator? But let's have a look at this piece, see what they have. Bitcoin is now free to surge not only to existing all-time highs, but beyond. Analysts have said, take this with a grain of salt. Analyzing order books for October 15th, monitoring resource whale map reveals Bitcoin has already beaten all major resistance levels according to them, with 60K hitting for the first time. Okay, I'm going to have to really skip this part, guys. Alex's eyes, I can tell, already rolling back. Almost no supply at prices above 59K. Right, so this is what could really cause a very, very fast rise in the price, I suppose, if indeed the no supply begins to materialize on the order books. Let's see here. Here's a little...
That's not really how it works, right?
Well, I mean, I figure with the supply... With more and more the supply accumulating in cold wallets and, less and less Bitcoin on the order books, would this not lead to potential price breakout?
No, I meant like that's literally not how the volume profile works. Like it sounded like he was saying it's like, oh well, there's no supply up here because price hasn't been up here. It's like, well, I mean that's not.
Right. The volume profile will form once we actually start running into those areas. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely good thing to clarify. But the only hurdle left, according to this article, is a sell wall at the current high, something which has been countered by bullish data. All right, guys.
Well, I mean, that's like saying, yes, the only resistance left is resistance. I agree with what he has to say.
Yes, no kidding. Here's let's get to a little more meat here. CEO over at Crypto Quant says Bitcoin's recent price surge is not the result of speculators or shorts being squeezed, but rather large volume buyers on derivative platforms. This firmly differentiates Q4 from earlier phases, he said, noting that earlier phases, notably, which produced all-time highs in 2021. As such, a classic short squeeze scenario where bears are wiped out in a cascading ascending price structure has yet to even happen. Massive Bitcoin buying market orders and derivative exchanges are not from short liquidations, he wrote in a blog post earlier today. According to him, this indicates there are no big short positions liquidated so far, and whales have punted long positions since the dip. All right, take all this with a grain of salt. This article did not have a lot of substance, guys, but don't worry. The substantial TA course is up ahead. We're coming up to the TA segment in just a minute. Let's get into another news story or two, guys. This Friday, UpdateLive reporting that Tether slapped with a $41 million fine by the CFTC today. Tether, the leading stablecoin issuer, has been ordered to pay a $41 million civil monetary penalty by the CFTC as part of its settlement deal, according to a press release on the 15th. The company was accused of violating the Commodity Exchange Act, the CEA, by making misleading statements about the USDT stablecoin being backed 1-to-1 by US dollars. Despite claiming that the stablecoin was fully pegged to the value of the greenback, the order says that Tether had insufficient reserves less than a third of the 26-month period from 16 to 2018. Tether did not perform professional audits during the aforementioned time sample, so on and so forth.
What an amazing slap on the wrist. $41 million. That's it. Bravo.
Yes, so this is basically what years of Tether FUD have amounted to. A slap on the wrist, $40 million fine. As Paulo Ardonio over at BitFinex says, thanks. Finally, we're able to put all of this behind us. It is a good day. And life continues. Look forward to the Tether FUD probably resurging at some point down the road. But for today, this Tether sleeps soundly at night.
Tether almost lost its peg because people were so worried about it not, being backed fully.
Yep.
Oh, crazy.
Indeed. The FUD has been weighing it down for a long time, but today, like I said, maybe the Tether bag sleeps soundly tonight. Today, 3 reasons why Bitcoin ETFs are different from gold's $10 trillion ETF case. Well, let me just explore the rationale behind this article. The crypto communities and the Bitcoin market are already reacting to positive sentiment coming from potential approval of physically backed Bitcoin ETFs. If the SEC finally approves the long-awaited product, numerous experts believe that massive institutional inflows to the cryptocurrency market will follow. This belief is being fueled additionally by popular case of gold ETFs that bring trillions of dollars to the market cap. But Bitcoin ETFs may not have the same effect as gold ETFs, and here are the reasons why. All right, asset availability. Physically backed ETFs are more valuable for investors since they're supported by real underlying assets. Gold ETFs are backed by actual gold, and the Bitcoin ETF will be backed with actual Bitcoin. The day that gold ETFs dropped on the market, institutional investors were able to directly purchase a product that was backed by actual precious metal. By owning ETF shares, traders and investors are able to own actual gold without going to the bank and purchasing actual gold bars. It's a completely different story for Bitcoin, however. Most retail traders and investors today prefer buying Bitcoin directly from centralized or decentralized exchanges without having any deals with actual funds. Let's see here. So while physically backed ETFs are more valuable for institutional investors, derivative-based ETFs remain a variable solution for institutions. We will most likely see that shift in funding once actual Bitcoin ETFs drop, in addition to fresh money pouring into the crypto market. With the rapid development of the blockchain industry from 2017 onwards, most institutions have already joined the race and are currently investing more than $200 million in Bitcoin each week. So we have, I guess the rationale so far here is that Bitcoin has strong avenues for acquisition that don't force you necessarily to go through ETFs. So it's easier, more convenient to buy and hold Bitcoin personally than it is to do the same with Bitcoin, or with gold. So I can see this first point. It's a valid one, certainly. ETFs certainly are a much more attractive way to get gold than Bitcoin ETFs is to beat Bitcoin itself, right? And of course, this part here about
I think they're right here about fresh money pouring into the market. So it may be true that all these funds will only be able to put money into the Bitcoin ETF because it's the way to invest that has been given the green light by the SEC and the CFTC and all those entities. But once Bitcoin stalls out, starts to trade sideways, people are going to take profits on that Bitcoin one, and all that money is going to flow into everything else in crypto, like it does every time Bitcoin trades sideways after a major run.
Indeed, good point.
Now, once this money flows into Bitcoin, it's not leaving crypto. It will be transferred around.
But something to think about is that institutions, you're right, it probably will open the gateway to more institutions, so likely net positive. But institutions already have a bit of exposure to Bitcoin if they really want, so there's no guarantee.
I'm talking about pension funds and
Yes.
other giant entities. I guarantee you, they do not have exposure to Bitcoin if they want to right now. There's no way. They're waiting for stuff like ETFs, so something where they can go and it's like an easy buy. These are not necessarily, professionals.
So I guess you're net bullish on the development and release of an ETF.
Yeah, obviously.
A lot of people today obviously citing how when CME launched its futures coincided with a bit of a top, so some people are apprehensive about...
They're not opening futures. This is more like they're indirectly investing in Bitcoin through buying futures contracts. It's not like they're opening a new type of ability to short Bitcoin. It's actually the opposite.
All right, great input as always. There you have absolutely. There you have it, guys. We covered a bit of news, but it's time to mosey on along into the next segment on this Friday afternoon. Let's go see what's going on in the bubbles. We got MATIC. MATIC, a big day for MATIC. It's up a little over 18% today. Shout out to MATIC bag holders in the audience. What else do we have? A couple more green bubbles. H&T Helium Network up nearly 7%. Solana's up about 6%, BCH about 5%, the Leo token over at Bitfinex, so I guess Bitfinex responding positively on the back of the news. I guess Leo token potentially up 6% potentially as a result of that news. And
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it would make some sense, right? And the smattering of other coins up low single digits. But hey, it's kind of a mixed bag today. There's quite a bit of losers. Sheep's giving back about 10% today. Hex is down a similar 10%. Got Axie, Algo, HBAR, Atom, RevStacks, Waves. Although they've pumped pretty good in leading weeks. They're down a few points today, guys, but nothing too major. The excitement is over here on Bitcoin. Bitcoin shining bright this day, as well as MATIC. But there's your quick look at bubbles. Let's go ahead and continue into the next segment. Who's kicking it with us this afternoon in the live chat? Let's scroll up once again, guys. Sorry for the delay in today's show. And let's see who's here. I'm gonna just expand out this window. Let's get into it. All right, big shout outs to Simpson YT on DLive. Writes hello. Well, very good morning to you. Philly Car, evening fellas. Excuse me, I need a sip of water. Give me just a sec. All right, back. Philly Car, evening fellas. Very good evening to you. Robert Warner, you're killing me, Smalls. I thought you rugged us, Jack. No, the rug was not pulled today. Merely tested for tension. Sometimes you gotta firm up the rug before you pull it, I guess. Any word, Fear Greed Index is 71 out of 100 today. Thank you for the daily Fear Greed update. Thank you. Robert Warner, RSI isn't too high yet, though. All right. Let's see here. Philly, I'm no expert, but has the Dow hit a top it won't exceed this week? Well, we will check in with the Dow in just a few minutes. Alex, I'm sure, will cover that in his analysis. Franklin MC on DLive. Hang on. The ride only gets more fun from here. I look forward to it. I get that feeling too. I can't wait for Bitcoin to do what it does best, which is absolutely melt faces on, what could be. Well, I imagine if we move up very quickly from if we hit all-time highs and suddenly we're at 100K within a week, I think that's gonna have melted a lot of faces. That, I think, what qualifies for a face melter. Unless we hate Mr. Ether. Remember the 200, 400K predictions? Are those min shots suddenly back on the table with this latest impulse? I certainly hope so. I think they got the hopium flowing. Let's shout out a few more homies and get into the next segment. Wayne on YouTube, can you guys look at Uni? Yes, hang tight, I'll do that. Let's see here, I see a few more requests. Can you look at the Japanese yen? Sure can. Smash those likes, reminds everyone. Wayne of everyone. Yes, indeed. Robert Warner, are you out in the rain, Jack? No, should I be? Prophet Bear, 60K time. It's time to party. All right, well on. Requesting Bitcoin. Thanks, Philly. We will look at Bitcoin. Robert Warner, there was a tweet saying approved. It's in the general Discord. Yeah, I think I saw that actually just now when I tabbed over. It may be, in fact, gone from, well, I think, announcement of pending approval or whatever it may be. Christian Zelda, what's a good dominance resistance? Well, we'll take a look at dominance for Bitcoin in just a little bit. Boris Bitcoin, I think it's too early to pop the champagne. I want to see a daily close and open above 65. Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna go ham yet because this could be. I mean, you remember the movie hit 20K, and then you know, we dumped hard, and then we bounced back to what, 17ish. I remember everybody thought we were gonna keep running. This is kind of reminiscent of that. We'll see though. Polly B, hey folks, how's it going? Polly B, Isaiah on DLive, hey all. Big shoutouts to Isaiah. ETH1, hi everyone. Big shoutouts to ETH1 requesting REEF. Robert Warner, Hex is making me sad. Well, come on, Hex can't be that ugly. It's just down. It's so up so high that I imagine the chart still looks. Maybe I don't know. I'll save the conclusions when I actually see the chart. Peckham 08, evening y'all. Peckham 08, let's make RippleNet. We'll start RAFnet. No idea. RPLNet, RippleNet, great again. Okay, probably is RippleNet. Isaiah, news about NU. Say it.
Our planet.
Our planet. Sorry, I couldn't decipher that. News with NU, new cipher. Well, we'll add new cipher to the request line.
I know. I saw it pumped really hard, but you can't actually trade it on where it pumped, so it's just like kind of a fake listing pump almost. Like new was up to like $2 where it was listed, but that's why it was so high, because no one could arb it, no one could trade it.
All right, there you go. New. Any word is MATIC about to explode? Well, we'll determine that in a minute. Isaiah, request for CELO, and how about we look at new cipher? Well, the new cipher is coming out today. Profit Bear with the request. Robert Warner. If we close at this level, won't this be the highest weekly close for Bitcoin? Yeah, we're gonna flip that chart to the weekly in a few minutes. Mr. Hutt QC. Hey guys. Hey, Mr. Hutt, our man from Quebec. Haven't seen you in a while. Shoutouts to Mr. Hutt. Welcome back. All right. I think that's enough for the intro. What do you guys think? Ready to get into the analysis? I sure think so. Thank you, everybody who kicked it for the intro. Alex is about to take charge and give us his analysis for the day. All right. We're going to wait for Alex to go live. I'm going to prepare some things in the background. Oh, just went live. Getting into the next scene, guys. Let's do it. All right, looking good. Looking at the Bitcoin CME daily chart. Looking good. Yeah, Alex was on the stream yesterday, so everything's lined up. I'm going to dive into the chat. Grab your request. Alex, you got the mic.
Oh. So I really like Bitcoin's close here. If we can get it above 60K, this is incredibly strong. You can see my bearishness was never really fulfilled here fully on Bitcoin. You can call the top, but calling the depth of the top is something just a little bit different. I like this. Strong continuation signal yesterday on Bitcoin, getting some follow through. For me, as long as we stay above 60K, I'm willing to be bullish here on Bitcoin. I don't really see any reason to be bearish at this time. All the higher time frames look good. 3-day, pretty strong here. Weekly. We're not currently above the previous weekly high on the CME, at least. Close here was 61,980, basically 62,000. I guess on traditional Bitcoin, it is a new high though. I'll go with the CME one though. Most likely we'll close above both of them if we're strong, and we'll close below both of them if it's not strong. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum is following Bitcoin upwards, but it's losing a lot of value against Bitcoin here. Let's look at Ethereum Bitcoin. We had a strong bounce on Wednesday, but since then we're getting more follow through to the downside. This is kind of what we've been expecting, for Ethereum to lose value against Bitcoin in this spot. Maybe even pull back to 0.05 Ethereum per Bitcoin. And this is of course reflected over here in Bitcoin dominance, which we've been eyeing for a large move off of this area at the bottom. We get that over the last 2 weeks. We just have to show some patience, you know? It's like, okay, we're waiting for the reversal. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Day after day, we're looking at these charts. We get mostly sideways until we do finally get that move upwards. Nice follow through today. I expect more movement upwards, especially with the break of this long-term downtrend as shown here. I saw someone ask, where's our resistance on Bitcoin dominance? If I'm looking anywhere for resistance, I kind of like 53% up here. See, support, support, support here, support here, support, support, support. I think we should look towards that area for a potential resistance area. So 50 to 53%, like this entire area right here is going to be our resistance most likely. Right now, we might get a little bit of a pullback, but it's basically clear skies. Pullbacks on Bitcoin are probably for buying in this spot. The same can't be said for alts. These are still kind of hanging out at resistance. Uniswap perp down today, not great. We wanted to break up above our daily baseline to be able to long this position. We're not getting it here. Dragon perp at resistance, kind of breaking down today. It's not a great look. Kind of hanging out inside of this area of liquidity up here. DeFi, well, we're breaking the downtrend. That means that we're most likely this trade right here is not going to happen. Can easily take this up to resistance, I would think, at least. Privacy perp, it's a little bullish today, but not enough that nothing to take here. Exchange perp moving up, at least take this to resistance. At this point, with us getting this bullish movement off of the daily baseline, I think we can safely say this won't be happening. I wonder, guys, maybe it's time to put away some of my bearishness. At least, at least the USD value on a lot of these things will probably wander upwards here due to Bitcoin. I would be very cautious about being in alts right now instead of Bitcoin if we do start making new highs on Bitcoin. Some of you who are listening may be new to the crypto markets, but when Bitcoin is moving, it has a tendency to just suck all of the air out of the market. Everything loses value against it. You may be up, if you're up 2% and Bitcoin is up 25%, did you really gain that much value in the market? Because you lost it against Bitcoin. Alt perp showing some strength here, starting to drill through resistance. At this point, I'd probably be looking towards 6,000. I kind of like this area right up here for a retest at least. All right, so Bitcoin up, like extraordinarily so. Dollar down. This is dollar sideways. I mean, it's down today, but it's not gigantically down like you might expect. And we do see here that we have a break of the uptrend. Where is it? Hold on. Not this one. There we go. So that is pretty interesting looking here. There we go. So break of the uptrend, lots of pushes up into resistance here. Start to curl here on our oscillator. Overall, most likely we're going to get this pullback here. We kind of drew out a potential future scenario yesterday. We'll see what happens. But a pullback on the dollar is good. That maybe we get just a little bit more of a run here. Okay, well, if the dollar is sideways down, markets must be sideways up. Traditional. Dow Jones, Well, this is interesting, isn't it? Well, what is it that I said? We weren't going to be interested in finding a place to long until we were above this resistance level at 350 and above our downtrend here, which we gapped up on open to open above our resistance level. So far, continue trading above it. This is kind of bullish looking. Let's look at higher time frames. Well, I'm not willing to long it until we make a new high, but I'm no longer as bearish. This is very interesting. Now I'm starting to reconsider my bearishness. All right, let's look at the NASDAQ. All right, so this is where the rubber really meets the road for my super bearishness, right? And looking at this, I actually think we could even come up to this area. So we got this area of liquidity there, but I'm not really sure. We're going to leave it where it is. We're getting this movement up to retest resistance, but now the question is this actually, we're just going to like keep going up? And I was wrong to be so bearish and expect a rejection here. Maybe it'll be like here. So see, we have support from a moving average. Boom, we fall below it, push down, higher low, move back above it. So boom, higher low, come right here, move back up. So that's our other possibility. Come up like that. Like what happens right here. All right, well, we'll keep our eyes on it. We're kind of at break even here on that short. S&P. Oh, darn it. Well, we do have a nice break of the downtrend here. We've been watching this for a couple of days. Very strong movement out of that downtrend. This is our weekly. Maybe we can trade sideways here more on the S&P, but this is so much weaker than it had been, right? So for the entirety of this bull market, we trade above this weekly moving average, right? So May 2020 onwards, above. We're above. We stay above it. We're still above it. We go below it. Haha, no, we're back above it. Above it, above it. And then starting in September, we break below it, and this moving average is now very much a resistance overhead along with all these trap buyers. I'm not completely sold on the S&P here. Okay, world markets. Let's go. Gold, we're still waiting for a close above 1800 to long. We have not gotten it yet. Gold, you are so tricksy. See, this is why we were waiting until it was above 1800. All right, we'll see. Silver, I think this is still worth longing as long as we're above $23. How does he do it? I don't know. Guy. Here we are at resistance as previously predicted. I expect probably a little bit more sideways and push it up into this rejection, back down to retest support. Platinum, likely get some more upside here. We're still looking for a return to 1100. Copper, trade completed. So this is what we were anticipating. This is what we got. I'm sold on this copper trade. I will stop crowing about it now. It's just, yeah, guys, you can take trades as simple as that. Even on the commodities markets, these pattern trades can work. It doesn't always work the way you think it's going to work. First we were sure it was going to trade upwards. We didn't really take it, and then it looked like it was going to go sideways. Then we were about to go short right here as soon as it broke down, and then it didn't. And then it finally broke up above here, and then we were sure we could take that trade long. CELO, we still have not broken this uptrend. Therefore, we're expecting more upside. Right now, we seem to have broken above the previous weekly resistance. Therefore, I see more upside on Brent crude. Corn, you crazy son of a bitch. First you stop me out, now you reverse. I don't know what to do with you. We'll just wait. Natural gas, double rejected from resistance. Now we're underneath the daily baseline. I say send it to hell. We'll probably pull back a little bit. Lower high. Soybeans finding some support here at $12. We are going to wait for a break of this fucking downtrend before we long this thing. I don't care how tempting it is. Maybe my line is drawn too tightly here. Maybe this is simply consolidating before a higher move upwards. No. This is weak. This is showing weakness. This is the lower high here on the weekly, right? Higher high, lower high, not so great, right? We don't want to log into this. It's fine. Where it's time transformation is also curled under here. We don't want it. We don't want it. No. Don't want it. Wheat still showing a lot of weakness here. I'm not convinced. I would rather just be flat here. Australia, I don't know. This is showing a lot of strength here ever since we broke the downtrend. China at resistance. It's probably worth taking a little bit of profit in this spot because we could come down and retest one more time, but I would still rather take this for more upside off of this long-term support resistance level. Remember, that's why we've been eyeing this. Yeah, you zoom out here on longer time frames, you see this is a real area of support resistance. 2015, 2018, 2020. You come back to this area, you guarantee we find buyers in this spot. And that's what we did. Push, 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 week after week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see 7 wicks down in this area. It just gets bought up by buyers. We push up off of this area of support resistance. Very classic behavior here. Wow, that's a big-ass weekly candle, right? Resistance here, resistance here. Buyers really step in, right? So week 1, they find buyers. Week 2, they find buyers. Week 3, they find buyers. Sellers are exhausted, but buyers aren't. This week, buyers just like burst, boom. They want more. It's very interesting. The fact that our weekly moving averages are above us really gives me pause here, just like it did on the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, right? And the S&P. That's right. This is a lot like the S&P 500. Let me remind you about the S&P 500. It's the S&P. Singapore. If we close the week above here, which we will in 2 hours, this is a long. Hong Kong, breaking the downtrend here. This is a long. See a little bit better on the weekly. Our next downtrend is all the way up in this spot, so we can keep moving up here. The UK, here's one that I just didn't call right. We doubled up here, took it in the face. Well, congratulations to the UK in this spot. This definitely looks like we're going to be making new highs. Especially if we close the week here, which we will in 3 hours. India can't stop, won't stop, doesn't even know how to stop. Wow. Japan, it's probably worth buying pullbacks here. At this time, this seems to be reaccumulation. Push down here, push, push, push. Buyers, 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 buyers all over here. Move back up. Well, it's time to stomp out here. This weekly close, look at that. Youch. Netherlands just wasn't bearish enough. Okay, so at this point, we're going to look for a pullback to try and long this further. Depending on our weekly close here on the Netherlands, as you can see, this is just an extreme bullish engulfing candle. Taiwan breaking the downtrend. I'll tell you, with everything else in the market being as bullish as it is, we're going to go ahead and close up this short. It was successful, but we're not taking it as far as I wanted to or thought we'd be able to. Am I really just too bearish here again, guys? I mean, it's one thing for Bitcoin to move up here, but for all the markets, I am surprised yet again. What's going on with bonds?
I was going to say my perma bullishness offsets your bearishness. We bring balance to this force.
Yeah. UK 10-year. Looking like we're getting a little bit of accumulation done in this level. We'll see. Is this buy zone getting flipped into a sell zone? Ugh. This is not a great look. I don't feel so good about that buy zone in this minute. Let's not be a buyer here after all. Let's wait until we get a break of the downtrend before we do anything here. Ugh. Oh my god. Ugh. Look at yesterday's wick on 2-year bonds. Jesus H. Christ. What happened yesterday?
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Oh, it looked like someone dumped their position. 5-year. Not a great look. And then here's the NASDAQ. That's actually, I mean, when you look at it like this, without all my other drawings all over it, it doesn't look that bearish here. What if we draw this trend like this? Yeah. And so this is a logarithmic trend, but guys, there's nothing wrong with being wrong, but if you're wrong, you have to be willing to change your opinion once there's enough evidence that you're wrong. Like you cannot stay stuck in your incorrect opinion. That will cost you money.
Philly car in the live chat writes, weekly charts are very interesting, Alex. Could flip either way. Still, no one's bitching about the supply chain niggles, eh? Yes, the supply chain issues loom overhead. Will they in fact drag this economy down?
Yeah. My understanding is now the reason that PS5s are in short supply is not the chip shortage anymore. It's because they're all stuck in the port.
Indeed.
It's like everything just ground to a halt. Yeah.
Yes, that's been one of the issues at heart, at least here in the U.S. Philly says, I got the U.K. wrong too. I still have a short open, but I will decide later. All right, still Philly, hard to let go of that short. I can understand why. Chico, whoa, buddy. I know what you meant here. Evergrande and government lockdown couldn't crash the market because there's too much money supply, says Adam. Banks had to do reverse repos to decrease the money supply. I'm sure we can probably debate all this in the chat now, but Alex, sorry to interrupt your analysis. Do you want to continue? Did you do the Japanese yen yet, by any chance? Just because that's maybe give the yen a look and whatever else you want to give.
It's like the yen has just been off a cliff. I think I said that earlier in the week. We can look at it, but the yen is continuing to do that. Russell is near resistance. Nothing I would do with it right now. Although with the way the rest of the market is turning out, maybe this is bullish. Maybe this is all just reaccumulation. Maybe. I mean, we kind of saw something like this happen with India, right? Let's go look back at India. Remember this spot right here on the daily? So things look bearish here. Like sellers, 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 sellers. But really, there were buyers waiting there every time sellers pushed down, and then when sellers exhausted themselves, buyers took over. So is that kind of what we're seeing here on the Russell? Look at this on the 3-day. Sellers, 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 sellers. But there's buyers here every time, right? And then here we get like full absorption. Sellers seem to be kind of exhausted. Buyers taking over. We'll know for sure if we close above 23.5 here. I think that's good. Markets are surprisingly bullish today. We will know for sure, I think, on next week's open. So by Monday, Bitcoin will either be making new highs or have rejected from 60K. By Monday, we'll likely have gapped up to a new high on the Dow Jones or reject from that area, and the same on a lot of these things. So we're just gonna wait, and if we find out, that means we're gonna have a fantastic rest of October and November and December. You know, sign me up, please. But I do think caution is still warranted. But let's be willing to change our opinion here. If things stay bearish, or if things stay bullish, let's get bullish. Let's make some damn money, right?
Hear, hear. I can certainly respect that. With that said, guys, it's time to get into the request line. Let's do it. We got a generous amount of requests today. See how many we can knock out. First one comes from Wayne on YouTube. Can you guys look at Uni and Link? All right, we'll look at Uni, and I'm going to prepare to open the chest as well. Also, very briefly, sorry, Alex. Shout outs to Franklin MC who dropped a Ninja Guinea in the live chat. Very generous. Thank you. Our coffers have been restocked. It allowed me to top off the lemons with a very generous 500 lemon prize today. The lemon chest is ready to distribute, guys. I will drop it in about, say, 2 minutes. So in the meantime, let's look at Uni.
That's like $15,000 of lemon.
It's incredible. Told you guys. The market's not the only one feeling bullish today.
So what are we looking at again?
Uni USD.
This is a little inverse head and shouldery, isn't it? White. I think Uni is strong here, but ultimately, we should be measuring everything against Bitcoin right now. I know you want Uni USD, but Uni USD is a worthless measure right now with Bitcoin pumping because everything is going to look a lot stronger in USD because of Bitcoin. So right now we need to only measure things against Bitcoin. Offhand, I don't see a lot of strength here, right? It actually looks kind of like we've broken down below this support and are having trouble reclaiming it. I'm not really interested in Uni versus Bitcoin here. We are again on the weekly. We could move up a little bit, but I think most likely we're going to continue to move down against Bitcoin on Uni. So just say no to Uni, be in Bitcoin. What's next?
All right, next up is Link. Link for Wayne, and I'm going to go open that DLive chest in about 30 seconds, so you've been warned. Go look.
Way. So, right. The way I see it, we've kind of broken below support here on Link Bitcoin. So here you see, you can draw it out more like this. And here you see resistance, resistance, support, 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 and we break below support. So what if we actually are breaking down here, huh? Where would that take us to? Should we take a measured move off of that? Probably not. All right. I kind of doubt we're gonna go to negative 6,000ths of a cent. So because that's unlikely to happen, we won't take a measured move here. But I don't think it looks very good. We break the uptrend, we trade sideways, and then we break below horizontal support, right? Not great. What's next?
Alright, big shout outs to our DLive Lemon giveaway winners today. We have Franklin MC taking the top spot. A little over 100 lemons coming your way. Anyword, Simpson YT, Golden Miner, and ETH1. All big winners of the lemon giveaway today, guys. Thanks for kicking it and getting a bit of lemon action this Friday afternoon. In the meantime, we're going to get into the next request. Boy, do we have a lot of requests today. No guarantees we're going to get to them all, guys, but we are taking them in order, in the order that they came in. So, next up, we have the following for Philly. Philly car. My request was Litecoin, Bitcoin, please. Okay, LTC, BTC. Philly said you wanted to look at something on the weekly. Was that Litecoin? What was the weekly chart you wanted, Philly? Let me know. JPY or the Litecoin?
This is really the last possible place that we could look to bounce from. So you see this area was support in March 2017. And here we are just today, or just this week, pushing down into this area. This is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We recovered just a little bit, and today, boom, we retest this area again. I'm not a buyer here yet. I mean, if we got a bullish move off of this level and we like pop back up, totally. count me in as a buyer. But as long as we're like down here, we could keep moving down. There's no guarantee here that we will find support here, just that we could. So let's wait and see. What's next?
All right, that was Litecoin Bitcoin for Philly. Big shout-outs to you, my man in Manchester. Let's go ahead and get into the next request. We are going to breeze through these guys as quickly as we can. Next one's for Philly as well. It's for the Japanese yen, unless we looked at it already. The yeni, but you did kind of mention your 2 cents on it earlier, but let's give it a look.
Okay, dollar is very strong against the yen because the yen is falling. This is something we kind of expect because it broke out of this many year long downtrend here of the US dollar against JPY. And then if you look at the Japanese yen here, the Jixi, there you go. So, yeah, it's breaking down. What's next?
Oof, brutal. Stand out, or stand by and watch out. Let's have a look. What do we have next in the request line? We got Cello, yes. Isaiah, sorry I missed your Cello request earlier, but Cello is on the board now.
It doesn't look like there's anything we'd really want to do here. Yeah, at this time, I think we could pull back, we could move up. I just wouldn't do anything with Cello in this spot, except maybe take a little bit of profits if I'd written it up. What's next?
All right, big shout-outs to Isaiah and the Cello request. Moving along now, we are at ETH1's request, REEF, refinance.
It looks pretty strong. I think it can continue here. I would just make sure it can outperform Bitcoin, which it might be able to. Maybe. I am agnostic on this chart. It could go up or down. I guess it's more likely to go up than down.
What's WADA saying? WADA looks pretty.
What?
The WADA looks pretty tepid. Otherwise, it looks okay.
Yeah, but I mean, the dead zone is still like getting it, like finding itself. It's a relatively new chart. It's only 10-month old.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and continue. That was a look at REEF for ETH1. Yeah, I
mean, it says that a strong chart, but it looks like it could go up. But I don't know how much of that might be Bitcoin.
All right, yes, might be a consequence of Bitcoin, but let's go look over at Robert Warner's request. He wants to look at Hex. Hex is making me sad, he says. All right.
I see why, and that is because Hex has likely rejected from resistance here. Finally.
God damn.
So this is the weekly. 3-day. So it really banked on 50 cents there for a while, but nah. So rejection from here. It may finally be time to get out of Hex. I know I've said that like 18,000 times, so you have no reason to believe me, but whatever. The chart is what it is. What's next?
All right, brilliant. There was a brief check-in on Hex. Mr. Ether, act decisively. Jag 077. How about we look at New Cipher, please? Yeah, New is up next.
Well, it's up a whole bunch. There is basically nothing to do except maybe take profits if you've been in it long term.
Wow, what a day.
Watch other people enjoy the trade. It's way too late.
Epic.
All right, so what's next?
Nice move on new there. Let's continue into the next request. What do we have? We have Hex. Yes, we have... Oh, sorry. I just moved backwards. Up next is MATIC. Any word. Is MATIC about to explode, he asks. Well, let's give MATIC chart a look.
I mean, it certainly looks strong. Oh, hey, this one actually did work out. Goes up here and comes down, which it did. It tapped here and came down here. Blow up. I'm not fully convinced, but I think MATIC may be able to outperform Bitcoin in this spot. I mean, we are kind of hanging around this area of support, right? Here, here, here. Yeah, I don't know that I'm 100% convinced, but there's a chance here that it could.
Hey, what's the
I would
measured...
wait for...
What would be the measured move if it hit like that next area of support you have marked out? Just curious. If you entered now.
Well, I'm confused. Which area of support?
So measure where the price is now to that yellow line above where the price is. Yeah.
Right here?
Yep. Just curious what like the next... I'd probably take profit. I'm just curious what kind of move this would be measured out.
Saying support or resistance? Because you're telling me support, but it sounds you keep describing resistance.
Right, measure from where the price is right now and measure upwards toward that yellow line. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Just curious how much of a measured move if I'd entered now, and I'd be out with 20%ish. Not too shabby. All right, MATIC looking all right. Tread wisely. Let's go ahead and get into the next request because I presume that's it for MATIC. We have ICP for Profit Bear. Can we look at ICP, please and thank you? Yes, we certainly can, Profit Bear.
Just kind of trading sideways at the local market point of control. It could test downwards some more. It could trade upwards. I'm not really sure. We could just get more sideways for a while. I wouldn't really do anything at this spot.
All
What's
right.
next?
Nothing doing in ICP. Let's continue. We have a 3-pack here for Augusto FC on YouTube. Can we look at...
Is this our last one?
Yes, this could be one of the last ones. So let's look at... he asks for one of these three. Let's pick one. Dot, Litecoin, or Atom. We looked at Litecoin. Let's look at Dot.
This is definitely showing some strength in this spot. Yeah, I'll tell you, if we could close the week above $40, then I think I'd be willing to stay long here. It's pretty nice looking. Like, that was my big complaint, right? As long as we were below $40, like in the $40 range, I wasn't super interested in it. But now, here we are above that area of resistance that was going to give us a problem. This resistance becomes support. Okay, well, we closed the week above 40. We're long here on that. What's next?
All right, shout outs for that one at Polkadot. We're going to get into one last request at least. Yeah, I got 3 minutes left in the show. Solana for Chico, as well as a new user, Andreas A. Gaming. Andreas Gaming, we're going to look at Solana for you. Welcome to the channel. Please follow and subscribe if you can.
You know, this was a nice continuation short signal. You probably could take profit one here, but Now we're starting to get into the range where Sol is looking a little strong. I don't know. I'm still not fully convinced here by Sol, especially after we've already moved up. What is this? Many hundreds of percents.
Yep, I'd be leery buying up here.
Oh, just 1 second. I guess as long as we break the downtrend here, I'm willing to at least take it for a retest of the highs. But I'm just not fully convinced without a bigger pullback by Sol to like $100 or so. What's next?
All right. Well, that was a look at Sol for Andreas and Chico. I think the last, if not the last request of the day. 2 minutes left in the show. I don't think we can cover any of the remaining requests, but I will take the opportunity to shout them out. Robert Warner wanted to look at BitDAO RLC for Chico, 3-bar play. Someone asking, Alex A1SG asking about, could you show us a 3-bar play? What exactly is it? Robert Warner wanted to look at Walgreens, traditional WBA ticker. And finally, Van Frick. Sorry we couldn't get to your request of a look at Cardano DOT and DOT Bitcoin pairings. But that's it for today, guys. Friday's in the bag. I do have to step away, otherwise I maybe indulge a few more requests, but I actually do have to run as well. And we're about a minute to the top of the half hour. So it's time to wind the show down, guys. Here we go. We are gonna put this up on the screen and get right into it, guys. Have you checked out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com? Yes, please do check out our premium offerings. Learn how to trade just like our team of analysts do. Trend following, systems-based trading. Yes, this is the edge you might need as a trader to get that winning strategy built out for yourself, to capture the delicious gains that seemingly are about to pop off. So time is of the essence. Get yourself prepared to tackle these markets. Check out everything we got at premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. All right, the Friday wrap-up is here. Thanks to everybody who made the show possible this week. Thank you to our analysts Alex and Jason. Shout outs to everybody in the server that makes it happen. Mr. Ether, Payday, Dark Rico, you know who you all are. Crypto Bull doing the timestamps. So thank you guys so much. All right, not much more to add. We got to get out of here. Peace out. Much love to you all. Final words to Alex.
Exactly.
Good advice. Much love, guys. Enjoy your weekend. You know where to find us. Peace.
you.